This is an SM Media production.
Hi folks, and welcome to the latest episode of the SM Media Pro Wrestling Show. I'm Scott McPike. It's a pleasure as always to be on, and we've got a busy episode this week. We're going to look at two premium live events, one for each company. We've had a busy couple of weeks, obviously, in the absence, and it's a pleasure as always to be joined by the one and only Scott Young.
Yeah, obviously, as always, happy to be here. I've got, as you said, a busy show. Look, I think two great shows, two very different shows on the scale, but both achieved what they had to. So I look forward to it.
Right, let's start down under. Let's start in Australia, where we had Elimination Chamber, right? It was a Saturday morning. I didn't see it live, which again I was traveling, so I was kind of getting wee notifications while I was traveling that what was going on. We did the preview of it, and we came to the same conclusion that the matches were the results were going to be pretty predictable. We thought we would still get some good things out of it. I thought in terms of the results, they were all predictable, don't get me wrong, but I thought we kind of left the event, especially with the men's chamber match. I don't know what you think. Kind of feeling like this is going a different direction than I certainly thought anyway. I know you've been kind of screaming the multi-man US title match for a while, but I didn't think they were going that way. It now looks as if that's maybe a possibility.
I do think I think it's probably the favourite at the moment, especially after we found out last night that it's a singles for the IC,
Yeah.
but one of them was going to be multi-man, one was going to be singles. But it's not it's either that or a singles match for the US, but it's not a singles match I thought it'd be. I thought it was good when I think me and you done our cards and both of us put LA Knight in it.
Yeah.
I think you had Logan Paul, LA Knight, and I had the multi-man.
Yeah.
And it looks to me the only singles match that we could get is Logan Paul, Randy Orton.
Yeah, that's probably, and we're certainly getting AJ and LA Knight. I think that's cut and dry that's what's happening, and that's a good. I thought that story. I thought would they be able to carry that story to Mania? They certainly are, and Logan Randy's got a really good thing to it, because if you look at Logan's kind of main feuds, like he's had them on Impulsive, and he gets something out of him, and they build to something. Like they did it with Rollins, did it with Reigns. It looks like he's going to do it now with Randy. I thought the build, like the brass knucks, Randy's work rate during that chamber match was amazing.
Like, carried the match. Like rent was due, wasn't it?
Carried the match.
Aye.
And I think that made it what was a predictable show. And I'm going to be honest and say, yeah, the matches were good. I thought the crowd, I think we'd maybe be talking about it as a top show if there was less people there, if that makes sense. I think because it was a 60,000 stadium event, it didn't feel like it. Like it just felt off. It felt like a Saudi show to me, apart from the Rhea match.
Yeah, I was disappointed with the crowd as well, especially like we saw the presser with them all on the stage. I thought the crowd was great. You had, I think Grayson Waller and Andy Hartwell did shoeies and they all loved it, that kind of thing. But yeah, I get what you mean. It wasn't like comparing it to another stadium show. It wasn't like an all-in where the crowd was hot for a lot of it. It was like, Saudi show's a great way to put it. Like, it was like the last Australia show. Was it Super Show? Super Show that was originally an Australia show.
Yeah.
And I think might get my shows mixed up. John Cena fight Triple H on
that? I'm sure it was Undertaker Triple H, because I'm sure that built to the DX Brothers of Destruction at Crown Jewel.
Yeah, I've tried my best to erase. Shawn Michaels retired at Mania 26 for me.
Yeah, I'm sure John Cena. I'm sure John Cena Triple H was at the Greatest Royal Rumble.
Yeah, you're right. It was John Cena and John Cena and Bob. Was it John Cena and Bobby Lashley?
It was against Kevin Owens.
Elias.
It was either it was either Elias or the Miz.
I think it was Elias, because that was not long but after they had the segment on Raw with the crowd.
Yeah, right.
And it's one of the best heats you'll ever see.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, it was wild. But yeah, as you said, on Elimination Chamber, it was a predictable show. I thought all the matches were good. I thought the men's chamber was the best match in the show. I thought Logan Paul, again, like Logan Paul's in with 5 top main eventers, and he didn't look out of place whatsoever.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
And this is a guy who's had what, 7 matches?
But that's the thing. Yeah, no, that's the thing as well. Like you've never come out of a Logan Paul match thinking like he's not. If he went, do you know what I mean? If he went full time tomorrow and did matches every week, you would think he's going to hang with the best.
Yeah,
but he's not. Like he's never looked
I
out
think
of
he's
place.
going more full time because he wrestled Miz on SmackDown as a qualifier match.
And that was good as well.
I think they're talking about. I think he said he's going to be around more on that Instagram live. He said he signed a new deal, so I think we are seeing more of Logan Paul on telly, and I'm looking forward to it. Really.
Yeah, and obviously we came with the conclusion. Becky won, which we all thought. Let's. I've been beating the Tiffany Hart drum for a while. She was brilliant. Do you know what I mean? She carried herself brilliantly. Whether she kind of builds on it and maybe has something at Mania. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the plan is with her. They brought Jade in to do something with Io, which I thought was weird in SmackDown. I don't know what the women's situation is, but one
we're
thing
getting Bianca Tiff. I think from what I get, it looks to be Bianca Tiff.
That would work.
And Jade Nia. I think we're getting Jade Nia.
But happy with that as well. But in terms of the structure, we certainly know what's happening at WrestleMania more. We saw the promo on Friday night, obviously the Bloodline, another really good Bloodline promo, another really good 20-minute Rock video. Apparently the Rock did a 20-minute social media video because he didn't have enough time on SmackDown when the promo went.
And he ran overtime by 10 minutes. He ran overtime by 10 minutes as well.
And
like they get like Simon maybe 20 minutes, and it went just over half hour.
Yeah, it went
Give or
30.
take.
I remember fast forwarding an ad break just after it because I watched SmackDown obviously on a Saturday morning, and fast forwarding my Skybox and it was 38 minutes, and that was the break just after it finished. That showed you where
They uploaded the full thing on YouTube, and the full YouTube it was 31 minutes.
Yeah, and usually like you're thinking in that, or does it need that much time? It's working. It's what I mean. It's even last night. I haven't watched the whole of Raw. I've watched kind of mini clips, and the Cody Seth promo I thought was really good as well. Apart from that ridiculous line that he comes out with,
suffering succotash for me.
It doesn't need that, and it doesn't need that because this whole thing is about the bloodline, the family. This is they wanted a family main event. Cody's destroyed that. Seth is there to help Cody. Doesn't need comedy. Do you know what I mean? Like it's The Rock. I mean, imagine saying 5 years ago that Rock would be in a main event program at WrestleMania as a heel, and you're now thinking that he's so much better doing what he's doing than he has been for years. He's still doing the kind of some of the lines are just brilliant. Like
was it he said the place they were in is the highest cocaine rate in America or something like that?
Meth.
The crowd cheered.
Yeah.
And the crowd cheered, which I'm all for.
Yeah.
Because obviously I'm from Glasgow.
But in terms of WrestleMania, the build at the moment, it seems to be kind of gathering traction. We'll get a bit more in SmackDown on Friday in terms of what the plan is. If they're going to, I imagine they're going to confirm the tag match for night 1. Drew and Seth's going to be night 2, which we knew. It's beginning to piece together. Gunther's obviously, we're going to find out Monday who Gunther's defending against. I think either Chad or Sammy. Yeah, so Gunther is going to defend his Intercontinental Championship, and his opponent is going to be decided from either Sami Zayn, Nakamura, Ricochet, Bronson Reed, Chad Gable, or JD McDonough. To me, I think just looking at that, it's either Sammy or Chad. I think one of them will go all the way and get to the final, whether it's like Chad goes first and then gets beat last by Sammy or something, and you still make a star out of Chad.
It's between they two, and I'm very on edge on who I want. I don't know who I want, and I don't know who I think. No, I think I'd prefer Chad.
Yeah,
because I honestly think Gunther v Chad Gable at Mania in a big stadium with a hot crowd could be the match of the year.
Yeah,
I know we'll talk about Revolution, and that's probably got a contender, or maybe a few.
I think it's got two. I think it's got two very solid match of the year contenders already.
Definitely. I think there's a couple of undercards as well for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know who it'll be.
Right, we're
Nick on the
into.
line. Who do you think it'll be?
I think it will be Sammy.
I'll go Chad then.
Right. No,
Or triple. Imagine if it could just be a triple threat.
It could be. It could be. And again,
Like
that's...
they both pin each other or they both count
Yeah.
out or something.
Yeah.
Because last year's
I
triple
don't
threat
mind
was
who
quite
it
good.
is. Yeah. No. I was thinking maybe Sheamus comes back, but I'm not sure. But whoever it is,
setting out. I think Sheamus is setting out his contract.
possibly.
Because he's up in June, I think. Maybe time added on because he's been injured. But or he goes down to NXT and helps Ridge Holland against Sean Spears. Something like that.
Yeah. Possibly. Right. Let's get into Revolution as well. We mentioned there I think we certainly had 2 5-star matches. I think they'll probably get more than 5 stars from the AEW.
I think one of them will get 7 and a half.
Possibly. But in terms of we'll start obviously with the retirement of Sting. I mean, a perfect way for him to go out. I'm surprised that they won. I feel a bit for Darby though that Darby's had the title vacated. Could he not just pick a partner? Could he not just do a Chelsea Green?
Yeah, but who was that? Darby Allin's not the kind of guy who's gonna go around and pick. But he's climbing Everest soon, isn't he?
Is he? Aye.
Aye, he's climbing Everest. It's like a 6-week, 7-week thing, and everyone apart this according to Meltzer, everyone on AEW was like, Tony, what you? Because Tony Tony agreed to it, and apparently everyone on AEW was like, what you doing? Why you letting him agree to this? If he's not filming it, I don't know if he's filming it. He might film it and stick an AEW flag at the top or something
The
like
first
that.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, he's climbing Everest like soon. It's like April for like 6, 7 weeks. But it's wild because he'll end up jumping off it or something.
Yeah. In terms of the match, I don't think this is one of the matches we'll say was top tier. I thought the whole presentation, in terms of the way they promoted Sting, having Sting win, I thought the Young Bucks, and you know that I will be the first to criticise the Young Bucks for stupidness. They played the part brilliantly. It just was a perfect way to end one of the best careers in professional wrestling.
Oh yeah, definitely. If you had to build a dream match, if you're building a dream match for a random wrestler, you want everything that it had. Memorable spots, obviously Darby Allin was glass, which we'll get into. Yeah, perfect opponents. Because as much as you criticise the Young Bucks, and obviously I'm sort of on edge about them, I still rank them the best in-ring tag team in AEW. But them and FTR, as we also saw on Revolution.
They went up in my estimations for that because I did have the worry that they were going to win and it just wouldn't be handled right. But in terms of A for effort, do you know what I mean? They all did it right. In the match, there's a couple of things that you're maybe thinking, right, that maybe wasn't right, but just the overall structure and the presentation, I really enjoyed. The triple threat championship match, I thought the match was good. I thought the finish was terrible. I thought let it down. I didn't like the finish at all. I didn't like the finish. I
loved Swerve when he hit that buckshot and he's pure celebrating. Because I disagree. I really like the finish. I like the fact that they cemented the double turn in terms of Hangman Hangman pulled the ref off and started beating him up. And I'd Swerve get given was it a towel or something? You get given something by Prince Nana and he chucked
it. It was a crown, was it not?
Yeah, it was a crown, yeah, sorry. And then he get given that and he was looking at it and didn't use it. I really like the fact they proper cemented this double turn. Because throughout you've been saying, oh, is that double turn? Is Swerve heel? Is Hangman heel? But no, they proper cemented in this match and I really enjoyed the finish.
I just thought it was... I thought the kind of final bit, I thought it was maybe the classic example of an overbooked that it maybe didn't need all the stuff at the end. Like you could have done this well, but some of the storytelling was really good in the kind of middle of the match, where like as you say, the Nana with the crown. Like I just thought at the end, I was just like, I don't think it's terrible, but I just thought that was maybe overbooked, and I've maybe been over critical, but I just didn't.
I mean, 2 ref bumps. I don't
I
like
thought
the fact
that
two ref
kind of
bumps.
led
Yeah,
to it as well. I thought they were overbuilding on the double turn, which again is fine, but I like that they kept Joe Champ because I think eventually they're going to. I think Swerve's the guy you take it off. Joe, I've said that before, and you turn Swerve face and Swerve. Hangman's got a perfect story now. We can go in. Do you know what I mean? His pals are heels and it's working now. Do you know what I mean? Like we can do it with that. Like we don't have Hangman. I don't like Hangman as a face anymore. I think his
no, he
time's
kind of
been.
lost it since the Omega feud.
It's kind of done. Yeah, it's kind of like even the Punk stuff. I don't even like the Punk stuff. I thought that was the time to turn them. They kind of did, but again, I might be just overcritical. I thought the match before it, I thought Osprey Takeshita was outstanding. Like match,
Oh,
that's my match of the year so far.
yeah, definitely.
Perfect.
It's not really. I can't think of many contenders otherwise.
Nah,
To be
maybe
completely
Danielson
honest,
Kingston before it, but I thought
maybe. But yeah,
Osprey Takeshita was a match of the night.
I mean
And
that Will Ospreay lad's pretty good, isn't he?
yeah, I mean,
He what a signing he's been. Obviously, they've probably got Money coming in. They've probably got Okada coming in. But to me, Osprey blows both of them at the water in terms of like last year I had my match of the year with Omega at Forbidden Door,
yeah,
and I had my second match of the year with Omega at Wrestle Kingdom.
yeah.
And obviously, me and you both watched him in the UK for years, and he's finally got a stage and for not the North American audience to really see what he can do. And if you want an introduction to Will Ospreay and what Will Ospreay can do, that match is up there.
You remember the bit in the? I think it was. I can't remember what it was. It was about the referee, but like Takeshita's get the. He hits Osprey hits him well. What looked a real forearm, and just the referee adding to the kind of dramatic nature of it. I just really enjoyed it. I loved that. I just loved, and again, I thought my Don Callis. Again, I can take him with a pinch of salt sometimes. I don't think he was overused in that. Like sometimes you can think like there's too much of him. Like he's just way too involved. But it was better. It was better than what I thought it would be. And that's I know it's Osprey and Takeshita and the two big stars of the future. This just made me think when's the next Will Osprey match, and I want to see Osprey and Takeshita again.
Kyle Fletcher on Dynamite.
Kyle Fletcher's another good one as well. I
That's
mean,
that's no, it's on Dynamite this week.
is it? Yeah.
It was announced. I was announced because I've said the bit after the match where they sort of squaring each other, and then they hugged, and then made an Osprey sort of salute at the end to the crowd. And commentary really paid it off as Don Callis is putting Will Ospreay up against another member, the Callis family, and
Yeah.
that says to me that Ospreay is leaving that soon.
Yeah,
Hopefully
100%. They can.
hopefully it's on Wednesday.
Will Osprey has to be the top babyface.
Oh, aye.
Him and
You were
Swerve.
talking about Swerve beating Joe. If Swerve does beat Joe, Ospreay beats Swerve in Wembley.
Yeah, and I think we both can add that. I think as long as you keep them away from Jericho,
Oh,
keep them as
please.
far away from him as possible because he'll drag them down.
Yeah,
And
he does that with all. He does that with everyone. It's
and
like
I thought the All Star
when.
Scramble match was completely
Aye.
pointless. Like it didn't
Why is it that?
wasn't needed.
Like
And I
no. It's like you
hope
saw I don't know if you had the Jericho story, but Punk. When Punk came back to Collision, Jericho went, "Oh, I'll work with Punk. I'll be Punk's first feud back." And Punk looked down and went, "Nah, I'm alright. I've got Jay White there. I'd rather face Jay White."
yeah.
So it's just a case of Punk knowing this bloke's not going to do it for me.
No, he's done. What did you think of the women's match? Because people know I really like Mariah May. I thought if she wasn't there, this would have been a farce. Like she just added to it, and
Yeah, I think
I think the Tony
I,
Storm character's just it's. I liked it at first. It's now just getting a bit ridiculous.
like Mariah May coming out as old school Tony Storm. I didn't really see that coming, but I didn't see the point in it.
I thought it was her originally. I thought it was genuinely. Like I didn't know the difference for the first minute or so until the
I
commentator.
know it was. I kind of saw. I kind of. There was a small part of me that Tony Storm gone back to the good version of Tony Storm, but and then it kind of became a bit more obvious. I don't know. It was. I think it's just a case of I mean, the crowd didn't care,
No,
really.
no, they didn't. And I think it was maybe because of what it followed. And it's had, do you know what I mean? It had, I even say, I thought Cassidy and Strong was pretty good as well. It had three amazing matches before that.
Yeah.
It's going
What
to
do
be
you make?
hard to.
What do you make of Kyle O'Reilly?
I was surprised. Didn't see it coming. I thought,
No, I didn't see it coming either, but I didn't really know sure like what it done. He hugged Roddy, then Roddy gave him a t-shirt, gave him a t-shirt back, but then he started crying as he walked up. I think he was just overcome emotion because obviously he didn't think he'd be back.
no.
But I'm very intrigued at what the point in it was. If you know what I mean?
I think it's just to build up, so try and make the Undisputed Kingdom interesting. Because other than the Wardlow stuff, it's not worked.
No, if I'm completely honest, I think it's it's had a bad ton of luck because the two main people in the storyline are MJF and Adam Cole, and both are injured. I think we'll probably, if timelines and that are to be believed, it'll probably be MJF Adam Cole at Wembley again.
I had seen a thing. I don't know if it's true or not, or if it's one of those things that I saw when the Sasha Banks back in business thing. Apparently, the next AEW pay per view is going to be called Dynasty.
Yeah, that was
Is
on
that
that was
that's telling
that's
me
in
that's
April.
telling me that MJF's coming back there? Like that's
I heard it depends. We've not heard much from him about him
nah,
because he's quite good at hiding away. Like when after the pipe bomb, he hid away for months. We didn't hear anything.
yeah.
So he's quite good at keeping himself to himself in terms of not leaking anything. Or and I think I don't know, but I think Cole won't be back for a while because Cole snapped his ankle into in
Yeah.
what December, November.
No, I think again, I think where the Undisputed Kingdom stuff is that I don't think enough people are. I thought the Devil stuff took too long. I thought it was quite not predictable in terms of who was behind the masks. But like, I didn't see Wardlow coming for a start. Like, I thought he would maybe be the one that was. What is the payoff here? Are they making Wardlow that because they've kind of built Wardlow up quite well recently?
Yeah,
Is he?
he won the scramble as well.
Yeah, what are they gonna do? Are they gonna have him go against Cole? Is that gonna be enough for MJF? I don't know. I just think Wardlow like Sheamus is probably what this ticket. Just get me away from here as quickly as possible. Like,
And well, they gave him a world title match, and you get Wardlow and Joe who've got their history. That might be at Dynasty.
possibly, yeah.
They might do Wardlow Joe at Dynasty.
Because
They had the stuff
they
with
need to do another Swerve Page match. Like they need to
yeah,
do that. Like
they had the stuff with his dad and the ponytail and things like that. So they've got a bit of history. They had Ward Joe, which wasn't great. I think both men have done better since
yeah,
that split up. But no, I think if you do Wardlow Joe with the current Wardlow, and then you've got this sort of, oh, could the Undisputed Kingdom come back and maybe MJF, if MJF says Samoa Joe at the end of it, then you never know. Then you get that thing to play off. I think that is possibilities, but they just need to get MJF and Adam Cole both fit.
Blackpool Combat Club was a good night. Maybe not in terms of results, but like in terms of both putting really strong showings. Like Danielson obviously lost to Kingston. I thought that was really good. I thought that was my second favourite, and I thought the Blackpool Combat Club and FTR match was really good as well. And those were two really good matches.
I mean, that's what you get for AEW pay-per-views.
Yeah.
It's a stacked roster in
Giant
terms of
are too
talent.
long. Giant are too long.
Pay-per-views.
Yeah.
That was 4 hours. But the difference between an AEW 4 hours and a WWE 4 hours, you've got skippable moments in a WWE one.
Yeah.
Create peacock ads and that kind of thing. I think it was Elimination Chamber like 3.5 hours. And had 4 matches.
I don't think it was as much as that. Well, I'm pretty sure it was like three and a quarter. It wasn't even that. It kind of flew in as well. See, when I watched it back, it flew in.
Aye, but one of them had one of them was 4 hours and had 9 matches. And the
Yeah.
other one was what 3.25 you said, and it had 4 matches.
Yeah, the Grayson
So
Waller, there was there not something that was like 84 minutes between one match and another match with the Cody and Seth thing.
yeah, the Cody and thing that didn't achieve much. It could Cody challenge the Rock to 1-on-1, which we're not getting.
No,
So it was completely. And it teased Theory and Waller breaking up, which could be something. But no, I think I think they need to be a balance. I think WWE takes too long between the matches with the Peacock ads and backstage segments. But apparently it was 2 minutes from Christian Cage leaving. I think it was 2 minutes between the last bell with Cage, Garcia, and Danielson's entrance.
Yeah.
So there's not much like breathing time between the matches. I'd like to see it stretch. I'd like to see the gaps stretched a bit, maybe with a interview or a video package or something. But yeah, I think AEW don't do. I think it's too short a gap in AEW pay-per-views, but in WWE PLEs it's too long.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be a balance between the two.
What do you think of Cage and Garcia?
I really liked it. I think it picked up in the last second half with the outside interference with the kill switch and the more.
I think she's pretty.
Wayne.
I think she's pretty good, by the way. I think she's actually
I like her.
took her role
She's
quite
not
well.
taller than I thought she'd be. Like she's
Yeah.
massive. Like which definitely helps. And then you had the Daddy Magic slap, which kind of didn't work, but kind of did because he went catch it, but didn't. He had to pull the hand away to look as if he caught it. But no, I really enjoyed it. I don't think there wasn't a bad match to the card.
No.
Like the worst match was the scramble, but even that was. I mean, even that was fun.
Yeah, the scramble, and I thought the women's match was. I just didn't.
They weren't bad. It just
wasn't
like
bad.
you kind of. Well, no, there wasn't a bad match. I think they were three-star matches on a 5-star show.
Yeah, I mean, 3 stars to us though is probably going to be 4.5 to somebody else.
Yeah.
Like that's. I mean, we've not done the ratings yet. I've not watched enough to do ratings. Maybe do that during the week. But in terms of the kind of landscape going forward, we've obviously got WrestleMania to look forward to. We got one right. Paul Heyman is going into the WWE Hall of Fame. We had this conversation last night as soon as this was announced. Nobody more deserving in Philadelphia. I just think Paul Heyman's deserves a half-hour speech at least. How's he going to get through half an hour without mentioning the words Brock Lesnar or Vince McMahon?
If anyone can do it, Heyman can do it.
It's going to be tough because
it's going to be tough because Lesnar was was it 20 years of his career?
Yeah,
give or take.
Well, if it wasn't for Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman probably wouldn't be back in WWE.
Yeah, because he came back in what 2011, 2012?
2012 when Brock came back. Yeah,
because I mean he came back and obviously I was like 11 at the time, so I had no idea who the bloke was. And I kind of went online to see who he was and Reddit. No, it was like forums at the time, and they were all kicking off Heyman back in WWE.
I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember the night he came back and Michael Cole shouting, "Oh my!" Like, "Oh no! Oh no! Oh my God!" Go and back. You can watch it.
I remember this.
And
why is he here?
But again, obviously, like we were talking about who's going to induct him. It could be an ECW guy. I think Punk's a good shout. I mean,
yeah, but I mean, imagine saying like this time last year, Punk would be mentioned in WWE telly, but Brock Lesnar wouldn't.
I know.
It's pretty wild.
And again, though, but see, because of Heyman's legacy in terms of like his ECW legacy is probably enough, right? But look at what he's done recently. Do you know what I mean? Like just the work, even before, like I mean, he managed to get Curtis Axel over. Do you know what I mean? Like he did. Like
you remember when he proposed to Ryback?
Yeah, oh God, that was bad. But
Ryback
I mean,
can induct them.
There's no many options in terms of who can, like Tommy Dreamer could maybe do it. I think somebody like Punk's probably perfect. I don't think, but I'm not sure if Brock would have done it. Like if Brock,
if Heyman asked him, if Heyman had asked him, he would have done it.
I mean, I wouldn't.
Because...
I said to you last night, I think he probably appreciates Vince more than anybody. Heyman.
Yeah.
But
because you had
that's not a road you can go down anymore.
No, you couldn't get Brock. The two people he loved most are Vince McMahon and Brock Lesnar, and we all know why that can't happen. And it shouldn't happen. Let's be honest.
No,
that's a different story.
It shouldn't.
But no, if anyone deserves it, and I think Meltzer was saying that Paul Heyman get asked a lot of times if he wanted to be inducted, he always said no. But I've said before, Triple H is a very persuasive man.
I mean,
and
Triple H get Bruno in.
Aye.
That was never happening, apart if it wasn't for Triple H. So
Don't know if you heard the story about the Young Bucks.
yeah, with
When he phoned it, Triple H was trying to get the Young Bucks, Hangman, and Omega, and Cody as well, actually, to try and to join NXT or WWE. This was when AEW was kind of in the process. I think it had been announced, or was just about to be announced. And the Young Bucks have told the story. Triple H phoned them, would phone them one day, and at the start of the call, the Young Bucks would go, "Nah, we're not interested." And by the end of the call, they go, "Right, I'll speak to you tomorrow." That's how persuasive Triple H can be when it comes to these, especially Young Bucks had all this money in AEW, and they still said, "Right, we'll speak to you." So if one man can persuade them, it's Triple H.
And in terms of, obviously, I think it's a perfect place to do it. Philadelphia, it's the right time. He's going to be in, do you know what I mean? He's going to be in the main event. He's going to be there for both main events at WrestleMania. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be. He's still front and center. And he fits Roman so well. And that was the thing when Roman first turned heel, and you remember looking at when he was in the sofa, and Heyman was there, and you just thought, that's perfect.
This
And
works.
it's worked perfectly. Like it has, like even the kind of Jimmy and Solo stuff, like Heyman's just there to keep it going. I mean, he's even like when he's walking away last week, he's going, "Call Roman, call The Rock." Like
Two
he's
phones,
got two phones. Do you know what I mean? Like it's
different phone cases, so they know which phone to.
exactly.
You know you're allowed two numbers on one phone, but no one tell them that.
But in terms of obviously the kind of landscape going forward, we've got more of an idea what's happening at WrestleMania. I just think we're in a better place. Like I watched Raw. What do you think of Liv possibly being added to the Rhea Becky match? Did you see that floating about today?
Yeah, I was gonna say that when they brought up Elimination Chamber. That's one of the things where we came out and thought, right, this is Rhea Becky, and then it's a big Twitter. I don't know if you saw the Twitter thing. All the Liv Morgan fans aren't happy that Becky's in the match because she doesn't deserve it, even though she's worked her ass off over the last year.
Yeah,
The NXT stuff and the Trish feud was great. I don't know. I think if someone gets added to the match, I think two people get added to the match. I think it's either a singles or a four-way, and I think Nia and Liv both get added. Either none gets added or both get added. I think the way they're going. But if it was up to me, I would just keep it
I
at
would keep it Rhea
Rhea
and
Becky.
Becky. I would keep it Rhea and Becky. Liv can do it. Do you know what I mean? Liv can put Liv with Jade.
Yeah, I
Like
think Nia Jade makes more sense after the
yeah,
Rumble stuff, and it's a good way to put over Jade's sort of strength and power again.
yeah.
But no,
No, again, I just think like we know obviously after last night we're definitely getting Jimmy and Jay. So what do you do with Solo?
I think
Like
he just stands there and be solo.
this is a guy who's probably giving John Cena his biggest doing in the since probably
Brock,
Brock,
which Cena won. Still, no, the
the
SummerSlam. I was thinking
SummerSlam,
the Extreme Rules. Aye,
and
SummerSlam
he's
one.
just there. I think I just think he's been really underused, and I'm just not sure. I mean, Jay's over. They could put. Do you know what I mean? If they let's say Drew wins at Mania, which I think is probably the right call. I don't think Drew will be someone who'll be the champion for long. Like I think
No,
he'll
I
get
think
to SummerSlam and like Punk will take it off, whatever
aye,
happens.
that's what I think.
Jay's someone who could be like you're looking at kind of contenders for next year's main event at WrestleMania. Jay's up there right now just based on what he's doing.
I think next year's main event's set, and it was one that was meant to happen. I think it's Roman Rock next year.
It could be. I don't think that needs to be for the title though.
No, but I think if you're even if it's not for the title, it's the main event.
It's the main
Maybe
event.
main in night one.
Yeah. But
But do
again,
you do Cody J then? Play off the attack history
possibly.
and the stuff for the bloodline, yeah. There's a lot of possibilities. We could do
Possibly.
that at one point. We could do Mania 41 predictions.
Yeah. I still think Cena's got do you think did you see that thing as well? Cena and Punk as possible co-hosts for
I'm
WrestleMania.
up for that.
I
I'm
that'd be
so down for
great.
that.
That'd be great.
You know how
Like,
they did it at 30, where
yeah,
they had Rock, Hogan, and Austin. They could do something similar with they two.
And Batista,
Yeah.
Batista.
Aye, it's like Batista. Have you seen Batista?
Yeah, the grey beard.
Aye, it looks like Gaza.
It does actually, yeah, it does. Are you signed up to John Cena's OnlyFans?
Yeah, I definitely get him a monthly subscription.
What's that?
What is going on?
I literally, when I was coming up the road, I was listening to his interview with Chris Van Vliet, and I'm halfway through it, and I'm waiting. There's like a point in it where he explains his OnlyFans. I'm hoping it's just a bit of nonsense, but I had to laugh actually. I don't know if you've seen Mandy Rose's interview. She did an interview where like, apparently somebody had given her 55 grand towards a fan time,
Yeah, I've seen
and
this.
he's asked for that back so he can pay it to Cena. Like, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Like,
Cena,
probably,
man. I think John Cena might be the strangest person on planet Earth.
yeah. I mean,
I'd love to see him drunk. What do you think John Cena's like drunk?
well, apparently him and Flair used to get up to it in the like
Oh, of
see
course he
when
did. What's Flair? You saw what he
wouldn't
was
you
like last night.
working I going off on wee tangents, but Flair check Flair was underused in the Sting match, or he was I just thought he was kept perfectly at bay, to be
He was
honest.
perfectly used. I think Ric Flair thought Ric Flair was underused.
I don't think there's any, and this is disrespectful because Ric Flair is one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
But now you don't need him. You don't.
No.
He doesn't need to be there. On that, I was going to tell you as well. I texted you as soon as I watched it. I went and saw the Iron Claw, and a perfect movie review from my beloved partner is who has never liked wrestling, hates it, says it's one of the best films she's ever seen.
Huh? I've still to see it.
Like
I might go see it next week.
it's hard to watch,
aye.
but so well done.
Because I don't know the full story. I know like bits and pieces, but I don't know like the full story of it. And I think Zac Efron's a very underrated actor as well.
He's very good in this. The
He's
one
kind
thing,
of gone away from the High School Musical
yeah,
thing.
that's way
And
by it.
I think when folks think of Zac Efron, most folk would think of High School Musical because that's where he got his break.
Yeah,
that's probably still his biggest film when you think about it.
Probably.
But no, he's definitely got away from the Disney Channel High School Musical mold and became a serious actor. And if this movie's as good as you think, then or as good as you and your missus have said,
But
then again that's another thing of
I
getting
think
away from that.
I'd purposely told her before we went in, by the way, because she'd said, look, why is there a film about it? Because I'd been saying, like, we'd obviously went away for a week, and I'd said, look, listen, if we get any spare time, let's go to pictures. I want to go and see a film. And she said, what film? I says The Iron Claw. And she thought originally it was something to do with Marvel. And she doesn't like these films either, to be fair. I said, no, it's about this wrestling family. And I purposely told her it's a tragic story. I'd purposely, look, because I didn't want her going in thinking, like, because it's a wrestling film, she'll think, oh, it's just going to be guys running up. I said, no, it's not. There'll be that. It won't be all that. And watching it, and some of the timelines a bit off, but I think in terms of to do a film like that, they had to cut a lot out. I mean, I watched an interview with the director. They've cut out one of the biggest things, the stories of the whole thing. But again, in terms of why they've done it, I understand it. I just loved it. Like I loved the way. I thought it's a very hard story to do, but they did it well. Again, I thought Zac Efron was good. The guy out of Shameless US, I don't know if you watch Shameless US.
No.
He plays Kerry. He's in something else. He was in a thing about a chef as well. Like, the acting's very good. There's the only one thing is the actor who plays Ric Flair. I think you and I could have been had been better suited to that. And I'm not taking any away from the actor. He's probably a good actor, but you couldn't tell me MJF's in it for 2 seconds. Why is MJF not doing Ric Flair? That would have been a perfect use of his because he's in it for 3 seconds. He doesn't even speak. Like, I'm spoiling it a wee bit, but
no, I don't really spoil it because I knew MJF was in it. I knew he had a cameo role.
He's in it.
But with these wrestlers in this kind of film, I think with modern I think with that kind of thing, it is better to have like be actors in it.
Yeah.
Rather than wrestlers.
Yeah.
Unless you're Hogan. What's the Hogan quote I sent you? Another Hogan lie. He said after the film he done, he was going to be the next Bruce Wayne or something like that. Or the film wanted him to be the next Bruce Wayne, but he said no, he's still wrestling.
No Holds Barred wanted him to be the next John Wayne, but he chose wrestling over Hollywood.
Aye. Yeah, of course he did.
See the thing with Hogan that always gets me? His story's brilliant enough. Like, this is a guy who played in a band, had never been a wrestling fan, turns out to be the biggest star. That's enough. Turns heel in the 90s, becomes the biggest star again, transforms the business again. But that's not enough. He has to make up. The one about, have you ever seen the Elvis lie? He says that Elvis was a Hulk Hogan fan. Elvis died in 1977. Hulk Hogan didn't wrestle until 1979. Like,
I love the idea of Hulk Hogan
something as well.
Making these up.
See, when we were driving home after watching Iron Claw, or driving back to where we were, I'd said to the missus, is obviously, she was saying, like, I never knew that wrestling could be so, like, tragic. And I said, well, there's kind of other bits missed. I was telling her other things that they'd missed in the film. And then she'd said something, because, like, the only wrestlers she knows is, like, John Cena, The Rock. And she said Hulk Hogan. And I'd chiped in Hulk Hogan, Von Erich, because I wanted to see if they'd ever worked together. Like, I'd never seen if, like, Hulk Hogan and the Von Erichs had done anything, if they'd ever been to world class. And I came across a thing. Hulk Hogan had said, apparently, in an interview, that he was in Japan with Kerry Von Erich 72 hours before he died. So Kerry Von Erich wasn't leaving America 72 hours before he died. Kerry Von Erich was one leg and was in drugs charges. How do you make that? How does he? His story's so good. Like, he's Hulk Hogan. He doesn't need it.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand, like, what... I love the idea these things just go through his head. He must, like, think of these before it happen. Like, before he says them. Like, oh, I'm going to say this. He does realise that folk can, like, research this. And folk can find out what he said and find it. Like, 400 days, wrestling 400 days a year. That's the funniest thing.
That's still the best thing ever. It's so good. Like, it's because he's obviously the concept of it is, like, there's something in it. Like, do you know what I mean? You could realistically kind of wrestle, like, 2 times in one day. You could wrestle you could be in America on the 23rd and be in Japan on the 23rd and still wrestle, like, the same 2 days. Yeah. He didn't realise that he's going back. He's losing that same day.
Yeah, he doesn't understand time zones.
It's just a weird situation. But again, I mean, we could talk about Hulk Hogan all night, but we've covered a lot. We've obviously got 2 events. It's going to be a bit of a there'll be stuff happening every week from now to Mania. Well, no, I mean, there'll be lot. We're going to do a couple of exciting things between now and Mania that we'll kind of announce during the week. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward. I'm really excited for Mania now. I think everything's set in stone. I don't think anything's going wrong, and long may it continue.
Definitely. I think with last year's we were all kind of hyped, but a lot of the hype last year was the 2 main events. Like, the women's feuds weren't great last year. Rhea Charlotte was the best women's match I've ever seen, but the feud was poor.
What was it, Raw?
Bianca and Asuka. That was a good match. Feud again was a bit dull. This year, all the titles have stories. All this, because the US, if it is a multi-man, they're all sort of interlinked. You get AJ and Knight, you've got Logan and Randy, obviously, up the Chamber and everything.
Could add KO.
So I think
KO still.
KO and Logan. Oh, I see Logan and Chamber with Sharpie. That was funny, man.
Yeah. That's good.
So yeah, and also the women, you've got Rhea Becky, or maybe Liv gets chucked in there. Even if Liv does get chucked in there, there's a story there with Rhea and Liv, obviously. Rhea took her out. The women, they smacked the women's title with Io and Bailey. There's a lot to look forward to, and there's a lot of stories to build to, which I'm looking forward to. Yeah,
well, we're going to be back next week. We'll do a couple of things as well. So, Scott, thank you very much again for joining me, and roll on WrestleMania.
I might look forward to it. It'll be good.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, folks. We'll see you soon.